Hey everyone, this is Caro from Shuffle Dating, your host, and we have a new guest with us today. Hey Nishant, how are you?
Hey, Carolina. I'm
Yeah,
good. How are
Caro's
you?
fine, don't worry.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming with us to this episode, trying to just get to know you a little bit better and
Okay.
talk a little bit about your experience and
So,
your dating life in this
oh,
episode. So if you want to introduce
okay.
yourself to the customers and to our audience, that will be great.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Nishant. I'm a software engineer. Dating life sucks. Professional life doesn't suck that much, but it kind of is. I guess conjoined in a way. Like your personal life has kind of the impact on your work life. So I've been in that state where my work life doesn't really work that well, but I've been able to get past that now. And yeah, I feel like Shuffle has sort of some part to it because I've been on dating apps and it's just horrible. And I don't want to explain that. I'm sure people know, especially guys, uh, feel that way as well. And yeah, I mean, I feel like by Shuffle, it just feels like I'm going there and I go there quite a lot. Actually, I try to book as many events I can because I feel like it's a numbers game. So I try to get there and just talk to people and just see if I vibe with someone. And it's just like it just feels like taking concrete steps rather than just swiping on someone who probably might not be on the apps, uh, and who probably doesn't even check it that much. So putting all that effort and just not getting rewarded just kind of feels terrible. But yeah, going to Shuffle feels like that I can at least I'm taking some concrete steps and maybe getting some results. Most of the times no, but sometimes it kind of depends on how picky I'm being. But like if I'm not being picky, then it's usually great. And I try to be picky because if I get too many matches, then I'd have to, I don't know, like there are different school of thoughts. Some of my friends try to match with as many people as possible. And I am much more picky because I feel like it's harder for me to not talk to people or reject someone. So I just be very picky in the very beginning to see, okay, whether I'm attracted to this person or not, or, if they have all the things that I'm looking for. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
So in Shuffle, like the very 10 minutes that you have with the person or 8 minutes that you have with the person are very
Mhm.
important. So how do you
Yeah.
know you have chemistry or like you are in a good conversation with the person? How do you know it's a good vibe? How I
Uh,
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's just like I usually get usually I'm the one facing rejection, so I'm not really sure what particular vibe a particular person is looking for. But for me personally, if first of all, like of course, physical attraction, if I'm attracted to someone, that's always a great start. But I feel like I don't know, the conversation just flows easily. I feel like that's one of the things, and they can talk about the right in depth sort of. If I am being so philosophical, I'm not too philosophical, but it's just like they can kind of understand what I'm trying to get at because talking and just talking to people is like an incomplete medium. Communication mistakes happen all the time, so it's just like sometimes someone understands your perspective, that sort of kind of goes well. But most of the time I'm just like I'm not basing too much on the conversation unless there's some insane red flags that pop up. I usually just try to see if I'm attracted to this person, what do they do for work, and if they are not dumb. I guess that's one of the things.
Okay. Picking back on that one, what will you
Mhm.
say is like the biggest red flag you have seen in like a person in a Shuffle event?
Oh yeah, this is easy. I have gone to events where people just not look at you, and
Oh.
yeah, they'll just start looking around, or like I'm doing it right now. They won't look you face to face, and I understand sometimes it's just overwhelming for people. One time that it happened, I was like really surprised, and I just gave them benefit of doubt that they're just probably overwhelmed with the whole situation. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what, like, I don't think I'm ugly, so that's probably not the reason. But I feel like if you're coming here and you want to do this, like, you want to put some effort, at least. So I try to ask them that, hey, what's happening? Like, are you okay? Do you need water? Like, and usually, so that one person that it happened with, she said that, yeah, I'm fine. And then she started looking away again. So I don't know, maybe she's just not into that conversation. So I guess that's one of the red flags for me, definitely. And then, I think red flags just becomes comes down to what your perspective or preferences are. Sometimes I'm very I don't know what's the word for it, like a very equal relationship, like an equitable relationship. That's what I kind of believe in. So someone suggesting that, okay, I want a man to take a charge, that sort of thing, that doesn't work well with me, because I feel like it's a partnership and I'm not going to do the heavy lifting by myself. I would need to talk and, hash things out. So that's important to me. So yeah, I would say that's also probably one of the red flags. But if someone's just not looking at me, that just feels horrible. So that's I would give that number one, and number two would be, just my personal preference. I would want something more equitable than, be the man in the relationship, sort of stuff.
That's interesting, because you would think that if someone signs up for a in-person event, they are comfortable with in-person conversation. But I understand, like, I'm not big on eye contact neither, so I will get nervous too. Like, just put it there too. So if those are your red flags, what have been your green flags? Because you were telling me that you have gotten some matches too. So there is always like some green flags that you have found.
Yeah, I think green flags is usually it's the opposite of that thing. I mean, if we get to that part about equity and equitable relationships and just someone having like deep thoughts about stuff, or their prompt kind of moves me, that's response to the prompt kind of moves me, then it's definitely a green flag. I usually just look for extrinsic things in like a street dating event. Like if someone is into martial arts or just active, that sort of thing, that's definitely a green flag for me, because I'm very active and I would like want to meet someone who's also into that. I'm also kind of nerdy, so I like watching movies a lot and reading books. So that's also kind of green flags, like, I guess, for me. And like I said, it's all very extrinsic in a speed date. I don't really dive deeper. And if the conversation just feels easy and, and we just happen to connect in that 10 minutes, that's definitely a very green flag. At least we try to, how should I say this? We're just not repelled by each other. And, that's good, I think. That's a good start.
So because you have gone a couple of shuffle events, I think you have gone to the ones in a cafe and in a bar.
Yeah.
What will you say is the best setting? I have always wanted to ask this to a person, because there are people who say like, no, like the cafes are so much better. And there are people who say like, no, like the bars are so much better. They are more relaxed, like they have more vibe.
Yeah.
But I have someone who has gone to both. So
yeah.
I have an objective experience person here.
Yeah, I actually have. I have also given feedback on this to you guys, and I feel like it depends. If it's in the daytime, I would much better prefer like a cafe. But if it's in the evening, I think like bars are fine. I think it depends on the timing, and like I said, it's a personal preference. Cafes, I think, because I've gone to some events which happen in a bar at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and you can say it's happy hour. I rarely drink, so
I mean, it's happy hour somewhere. Like you can drink.
I know, you can say that. Yeah, and it's fine. It's just like I don't find myself, pushed into buying a drink because you want to help these establishments out. And I'd rather have a coffee than have like alcohol. So I usually just order kombucha or something non-alcoholic and stuff like that. But I would very much like to have coffee in the middle of the day rather than, in the evening. But I guess some people don't like to drink coffee after 3 or before. They have certain times as well. So I don't know. I think you can't appease everyone. But yeah, I mean, I feel drinks are great if it's in the evening, and coffee is great if it's in the daytime. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
That sounds like a compromise. So yeah, and
I do a lot of that.
You say you had a couple of matches, but you are still single, right?
Yes.
So what happened?
So what?
If you are comfortable sharing with everyone.
Oh yeah. I'm already starting to tell you. Like you don't even have to say that. I love to talk about myself, if you haven't noticed. So one person, I think she just ended things because she didn't feel chemistry. Although she also said to me to take it slow. So I don't know which one it was, whether it was chemistry on the first date or, I mean, she kept for the longest time. I think she kept me around. And this is pure guesswork. And I think she just wanted to keep me around and try out other avenues before deciding. And I think she kind of decided after a while. So, and then she's like, oh, this is not working out. So yeah, I feel like that didn't work out because of that. And the other person, I haven't actually ended things with her yet. So I don't know. And I don't know if I want to end it. It's strange because she's really cool and she's really smart. And, we have great conversations. But I feel like she's very idealistic and almost almost like a carbon copy of who I feel like I am. And it's just, I don't know. We are too similar, I feel like sometimes. And it's like, I mean, conversations are great. We connect on, so many things. We have like pretty much similar ethics and values. And, but there's that, I guess, fire or passion that I seem to think that it's lacking. But I am also like a firm believer that it takes a while, a little bit to kind of discover that chemistry. I mean, yeah, there's other school of thoughts, but I think the school of thought that you get chemistry on the first date, it's for people who have a lot of options. But I feel like, you want to get to know a person and sometimes it takes a little bit. And if I don't find any major red flags, I like to date that person a little bit longer and then just see where it goes. Yeah. And so kind of right now I'm not decided on this person. Like my first inclination was no. Because I wasn't seeking that passion. But at the same time, she's really great and I want to see what it turns into. And we'll see. I mean, it's not like we have like a timeline, although I would love if there was a timeline to kind of decide these things. Oh, 3 dates and, move on, that sort of thing.
But that's not how life works. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's not how life works. Yeah.
So I have another question that we get quite a bit of feedback, especially in Seattle and Portland, that software engineers are not good conversationalists. Like,
are not?
They are kind of boring.
Oh yeah, I agree. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Base it on me. I'm a software engineer, so I don't know.
Yeah, like why would you say that? Like I feel that your job is quite interesting. So why will you be boring to talk
I don't
with?
know, like how would I explain someone software engineers? I feel like we go deep into the technologies or the kind of work that we're doing. It's very deep. I mean, it's also very horizontal, but it's also you need deep understanding of something. And I think it's just I mean, I tend to be philosophical. I don't know about other software engineers. I feel like a lot of the software engineers are probably just introvert because they studied a lot. And okay, so maybe this is like a race thing as well. Like I'm Indian and a lot of Indians are software engineers or tend to be software engineers. We tend to be nerdy a little bit because we kind of, like I said, it takes you a little bit, you go deep into things and, it just, it's hard for some of us. It is also cultural. I think a lot of us just kind of didn't grow up with the dating kind of mindset. We were always, our mom and dad will find us someone, something like that. And like arranged marriages. So that's just Indian perspective. I don't know about rest of the world, but a lot of us.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it. I do have a couple of friends. I actually have a friend who got an arranged marriage.
Yeah.
And then he got divorced like a year after. Like a whole thing. If you don't mind, how does it feel to have to date if you grow up with like that mindset and then you came to the States or you grew up in the States, I don't know, and now you have to date and have all this complete different mindset to actually find someone?
Yeah, there's a lot of learning. And by the way, I'm also divorced, so I can give you that aspect as well.
Oh, wow. Yes, please.
Yeah, so
that sounds so cool.
Wow, you all want all the gossip. Like, you give me matches, I'll give you gossip. I mean, I'm kidding.
Sure.
So yeah, just match me even someone who swipes left on me. Okay, I'm kidding. So yeah, I mean,
Just for context, I think I can't do that. Please.
Yeah, I know.
Don't believe I can't do that. I can't. I don't manage the dashboard.
Yeah, you can't, as I wink. Anyways, wait a second. So what was your question? You wanted my perspective on like how it feels like to date people after, coming from that sort of culture. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of
exactly.
learning. A lot of learning. I think you wanna be doing it. I don't think a lot of Indians do that though. I think a lot of Indians do end up getting arranged married, and they don't really care. I think it has a lot to do with women kind of working as well, because there were in older times. I feel like women didn't used to work, and they didn't had that kind of options to kind of go out and explore and do that stuff, and that has changed a lot. And people have
Yeah.
started to expect more for themselves, right? So if there are incompatibilities, there's no power imbalance, like that. We're trying to be more equitable, I guess, and
Mhm.
there was used to be a time when people weren't as equitable. So and I could be wrong, and but now, since people are in workforce and everyone expecting good things, I think maybe that's why divorce is happening. But yeah, I mean, from my cultural background, it's just like it's a lot of onus is put on, or weight is put on succeeding or getting a good job, and
Mhm.
basically just study until you make it, and then you can get married, because you're gonna get arranged marriage, so who cares? But that sort of, I was being influenced by Western culture a little bit. I watched a lot of Friends while growing up, so it's just those ideas kind of take root a little bit. And now that I'm in US, it's like, okay, people date, people don't arrange married into. And some
Mhm.
people just if you think of it as problem solving, some people will try to date, and because dating sucks, they'll be like, they'll go back to their parents and be like, okay, yeah, let's just do arranged marriage because this thing isn't working.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of learning. You have to understand this very alien concept of dating that you have no practice on, because you
Yeah.
do your undergrad, your grad school, you're basically not really dating, you're just studying and really focused. So I guess you don't really learn to do a lot of stuff. And it's not for everyone, but I think it's majority of people, they don't get to do a lot of learning in this terms, and they don't get to date a lot. And
Mhm.
then they finally start dating, because some whatever leads them to kind of pursue this way, it becomes hard for them, because there's no teacher, like, there's no
Yeah.
dad telling them, giving, because our parents got arranged marriage, so they don't have any clues how to date either. So we have to kind of
Yeah, and
discover it
it's
by
not
ourselves.
something you will talk with your parents neither. Like you
Yeah,
won't ask them
yeah,
how
I
how
know.
do you date that someone.
Exactly. I mean, they can give you general guidance on, who you want to be as a person, but like, my dad didn't give me dating advice. It's just doesn't happen, and maybe some people's parents do. Maybe they're better off right now. But yeah, it's just I have to learn, and discovered ghosting. Actually, this one woman once gave me a phone number, and I didn't even
Mhm.
know what ghosting was, because this was after my divorce. This woman gave me her phone number, like, she asked me if she could give me her phone number, and I was like, okay, sure. And I take her phone number, and then I message her the next day, and she responds, and then I message her back, and then she's gone. Like, she's never messaged back, and I'm surprised. I have no clue what's happening, and I'm asking my friends, hey, what happened here? And they have no clue, and I'm like, and I mean, not my non-Indian friends, like my American friends, and they're like, yeah, what is happening? And they have no clue. They're like, oh, maybe she's just busy, and they're giving me all kind of reasons. No one has any definitive answer. But after a week, I just figured that, okay, she just probably just doesn't want to talk. But it was such an alien concept. Just grasping the concept of ghosting
Mhm.
was, so I would rather communicate, but I guess people don't do that. And I mean, yeah, I mean, it's easy to say that I want to communicate that, but it's like, after, it's so hard to kind of reject people. So sometimes I just hope that the conversation died down, they don't message you back, and that's mostly the end of it. But sometimes, if you're gone out on a date with someone who really likes you, it's like, you have to kind of say to them that, hey, sorry, this isn't working out. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Did I answer all of your questions? I guess I feel like I went on so
Kind of.
many tangents. I didn't. Yeah.
Almost
Wow.
almost all of them. I think the last
Okay.
one will be like you mentioned you are divorced. So I'm
Hmm.
just curious, was the first marriage arranged or it was like a love marriage?
No, that was a love marriage as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I was very hell bent on not doing arranged marriage.
Okay.
Because I was young and stupid. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna
Aren't we
just
all?
do this. We all are young. We all are stupid, and when we are young. So I
Yeah.
guess. Uh, yeah. So yeah, that was also a love marriage, and but I had a lot less experience of dating. It's like, she was my first girlfriend, I was her first boyfriend, so we kind of didn't know how to communicate
So it was
and how
like
to do other stuff.
sweethearts, like high school
Yeah,
sweethearts.
you can call us high school, but we met in college. College sweethearts, I guess you can say that. Yeah, so it was like that, and I think we just didn't know how to communicate and stuff. And I feel like it was a relationship born out of necessity. Just being with someone. I think rather than who that someone is. Now that I know that better, I guess I still don't know that better. I mean, I feel like no one ever knows it unless, I mean, people have some thoughts about who they want to be with, but it's, I guess, just conversations. Like you just spend enough time with someone and you realize, oh, whether I want to see them again, whether I want to see them again, whether I want to see them for the rest of my life, just answer those questions, and eventually you hopefully get to where you want.
Yeah, that's true. Like sometimes you might like someone enough to see them one more time, but not enough to see them for the rest of your life. Forever sounds so long. I think that it's scary. Honestly, it's not my kind of thing. And that's saying someone who works for a dating company.
We don't judge.
Something else that you would like to tell people that are in the dating world is summer. So more people go in dates now than during the winter or any other time in the year. What would you like to advise them?
What would I advise them? I don't know, man. I'm not that successful. So I would say just keep going. And I hope you guys have a lot more events, because I've been seeing the same guys over and over. And I'm one of those guys who basically books all the events. And there are only 10 spots. So maybe I am just taking seats away from other people. And maybe just have more events, because I've seen so many guys that I've seen multiple times, and I feel like, okay.
Oh yeah, we do have a couple of those, but we try to do as many events as possible. And the thing is that right now our team started as like 3 people, and then I joined. Then it was me, and now we are around 7. So that means that there are like 5 hostess now. So that increases the amount of events we can produce at the same time.
A friend of mine definitely want to give this suggestion to you guys. He wants an Indian only event. And I don't know. Like he's saying like, okay, just Indian people. We don't want to see other people. I don't know. A little racist, but it's okay. He can have his opinion. He can have his opinion.
We have feedback of like only Christian events, like people who want only Christians on the events. We have feedback about people only Christians, only Indians, only Muslims. Yeah, so like he's not the only one. You should see our feedback forms. Like we read all of them, I promise.
Okay. I don't think that's a bad idea though.
Yes.
Oh, you're a small team. That's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, we're a very small team. So we work, we basically work around the clock. So to get all the events because of the time zones. So we work, like sometimes people that don't know this, like sometimes the same host will be managing like 3 events, like one in Seattle, one in San Diego, one in Austin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. So sometimes like we will have 3 or 4 events at the same time, or like 2 events in Seattle in different parts. So it's a lot of multitasking. It gets quite fun when you get confused with the names and you don't know which event are you talking to. But yeah, hopefully we will get more team events. I think people enjoy those ones more. But yeah, like team we events. Have a new thing coming out, hopefully next month, friend button. So a lot of people have said like they have met like for example guys during the event that they want to be friends with, but they just don't know how to contact them. So you now can befriend people.
They're there. I did meet like 3 or 4 guys there on Shuffle, and we kind of we ended up connecting. So it's I feel like you can just talk to them. Actually, what was I saying? I was talking about this with my friend just now. Guys don't have an event for someone who has kids. I don't have kids, but you do have an event for don't have kids and open to kids. And I feel like many people want someone else who also has kids. So that's also probably like a good.
We are looking for making one for people who have kids and they don't want to have more kids. Like, there is so many combinations, to be honest. Like, I feel that they are just unlimited things that you can do with these events. But yeah, I'm glad that people are enjoying it, to be honest. I think that's the good part. People are mostly enjoying them.
Yeah, I think I definitely want to give you guys the compliment that you guys don't cancel your event that much. And there is always, like if someone, and I know people back out at the last minute and stuff like that happens, but you guys are always, I've met, even in events where 2 or 3 people didn't show up, I still end up meeting like 6 people. I've been on other speed dating events throughout Seattle who just canceled the event or postponed the event. There was one event that kept postponing until like 3 months. They would make you wait for 2 weeks and then they'll postpone it to 2 more weeks and then it keep postponing. And I was so annoyed. And there was another one which would only have like 5 people at max, or 6 people or 7 people. And I feel like because it's such a numbers game. Yeah.
We do try
you
to,
gotta see
even
people.
even if people cancel, last time we do try to contact the wait list. As soon as someone cancels, we are like contacting the wait list on the other hand and like try to match the numbers, because we know that people are taking time out of the day to meet people. So yeah, we always try to match the numbers as close as possible. So yeah, that's why you get like this random. I know people say like, this is so close, like I have 30 minutes to get there, and I'm like, yes, I know, but this person just canceled, or this person just had an accident. Like, I'm sorry, but you never know. There was one person who said like, oh yeah, I live above the bar, so just let me know when someone cancels, so I can just go down the bar. I don't remember which bar it was, but yeah, he lives literally above the bar where we do the event. So he was like, I'm always up for any event. So it was very fun. We just know who to contact because he never books. He's just like, if you have any cancellation, let me know. We just know who to contact.
I would say the same thing. If you have any cancellation, let me know, because I'm also doing events. And I didn't book, so I'm out of dates now. And I didn't book any events for like the next 2 months. So, just let me know.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure, we will have your number on save on our wait list. But thank you so much for coming to the podcast. I really appreciate it. And
it's fun talking to you.
I hope your dating life goes really well. And I hope to hear that you have a new match really soon.